It really is creepy to think about your parents having sex.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
What about you, Aunt?
Yeah, I actually heard, which is even worse, was after dear old Dad went out to California, Mom would, have Sal over. This is before they got married, many years ago. And I'd hear, like, Sal giving it to my mom.
Are you serious?
Oh, it was awful.
Didn't
one time it was, because he was like, he was brand new guy coming to the house. We didn't know him or like him or anything at the time. I love Sal now.
He's been around forever.
Yeah, the guy's been around for years, since the 70s.
Wow.
So he's been around for quite a while. And but this is like right when he first started coming by, and we're like, who is this guy? And then all of a sudden you're just hearing those awful sounds. The moaning, groaning, and stuff from the bedroom. And my brother got so pissed off, he grabbed a baseball bat and banged on the door. He's like, knock it off! Knock it off!
Didn't they realize you guys were home?
Yeah, but they didn't care. What they care?
Oh, God.
They didn't care. Well, why would they care? They're just like in lust.
Did you hear them saying anything?
No, I didn't hear any talking. It was just pure, like, grunting and
pure
moaning.
Lust.
And you hear, like, the guy grunt, and then the woman grunt, and then you realize, ew, that's Mom. She's getting it on.
Were you trying to picture what position they were in?
No, I didn't picture anything. I would put the pillow over my head and,
and start crying and go, make it go away.
Stop doing that to my mommy. No, I was a little too old for the crying thing at that point. But, no, I would just cover up my ears and stuff. Didn't matter. At that point, like, she would leave to go to work, and we'd drag girls in there and have sex with them, so that house was like a goddamn whorehouse.
How awful. Your mom's in the next room having sex, and you're laying there like Joker in Full Metal Jacket with your hands over your ears.
I was. I did not want to hear it. Oh, that was really rude. And then Joe went after Sal with a bat one day.
You went after him?
Why?
Yeah. He didn't like the whole thing about the hearing the moans and groans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Sal came to the door, and Joe was like, what do you want? And he goes, I'm here to see your mother. And Joe's like, yeah, well, you mother F. And he started, like, cursing him out and talking about things and yelling about hearing noises. I don't have to hear that. I don't want to hear that sound through the you two in the room right next to us. So that was,
Your brother was C-blocking your mom, man.
Good. Good.
How old was Joe?
Joe was probably 18 at the time.
Joe
maybe.
was like the father figure.
Oh,
right?
Joe was a
he was the
ball
older
buster
brother there.
back then. Yeah, he didn't want to hear it, and he'd let you know. I was just like, hi, glad you're enjoying my mom.
Can we
That was me. I didn't care.
Can we go throw the baseball around?
I need a father figure. Could we go out back and toss around the ball?
Can we do something normal instead of hang out at a bar?
I figure since you're banging my mom and I hear it, perhaps we could do some fatherly things. If I got to sit there with a pillow over my head and clenching it so hard to my ears that I can't even breathe, perhaps,
Perhaps we could go to the park and fly a kite.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. Fly a kite. That's good. Then I won't feel so bad when I hear you just banging my mom at night.
Schooling your mom.
Schooling her.
How ironic that many years later you still like your face in a pillow for sex.
Oh, it's just awful.
That's kind of weird, because Sal's been around. I even know that Sal's been around a long time.
Sal's been around.
You thought he was just a guy that was just trying to get some?
Probably 30 years.
Wow.
Maybe a little less, but yeah.
Does Joe like him now?
Long time. Oh, yeah. We love Sal. He's like our dad, The guy's fantastic.
Were you convinced he was just trying to get some, though, at the time?
Nah. Well, you know something? He was a little more sincere than some of the other gentlemen that stopped by. Let's just put it that way. I don't. Look, here's the situation.
Dude, it's not... I understand what you're going to say. You had a single mom that was very young.
Yeah, my mom got divorced.
I can't even imagine that.
She had to raise 3 kids by herself. So then when we reached the point where we were able to, take care of ourselves as well as we could, she went out to, live a life, have a little fun. She was a cocktail waitress at discos all over Long Island, She kept herself in good shape. So, you know, there were always guys coming on tour and stuff.
She's still in good shape.
Hey, enough.
Wow.
Lovely.
Enough.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear that. This is ancient history.
No, she's still in great shape.
Ancient history.
What?
All that stuff.
What stuff?
You know.
She's still in shape.
Before Sal.
Wow, and it's almost stuttering.
I don't think Sal likes hearing the before Sal days. Remember the story that got us in big trouble?
Yeah, he basically threatened our lives, and
Sal was a little
serious.
Well, that's because, you know what it was? It wasn't so much us talking about this, because it's part of life and everybody in general, but the listeners get a little carried away, and they started saying, like, bad things, and Sal, at that point, we were, like, he was new to this whole radio thing also, and didn't quite understand that listeners are a bunch of, you know, jackasses, and they'll say awful things. So then when I brought up a couple of instances where perhaps a gentleman caller came over the house to have a date out with my mommy, the listeners took it to the extreme. You know.
And Sal called our show and threatened us.
And threatened to kill us if this line of programming and call taking.
And considering what he used to do for a living, we knew he was dead serious.
The guy was a legitimate union organizer.
What? He was a what?
He's a retired union organizer. Leave him alone.
So when a guy like that calls your radio show and threatens your life, you better take it serious. It wasn't like he was working at UPS or something.
Wait, he was a union organizer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name back then when he did that?
Right.
Now that he's in hiding.
Salvatore.
Sal the Nose. What was his nickname?
Sal.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Baltimore Sal.
Oh, there you go. Baltimore Sal threatened our lives.
A great bunch of guys down there.
Threatened his stepson, basically, live on our show.
Because people got... Well, my mom was a big baseball fan. She liked the Mets.
But stop.
That's all I'm saying. What? You could go... What?
You lost me.
Well, she went out on a date with one of the Mets.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Doc Gooden?
No, it was... See,
that was the bit. That was it. I don't want the phone call again.
How many phone calls we got about Mookie Wilson?
Yeah. They all looked up the old Mets lineup from the late 70s.
Everyone was
yeah, see, that's the
trying
bit.
to guess, and that was the bit, and everyone...
Shut up, Jimmy. The phone call's going to come any second now.
Darryl Strawberry. It was like everybody was bringing up names.
Was it Ed Kranepool?
No, it wasn't Ed Kranepool. It was
Leon Jones.
No, shut up.
Rusty Staub.
No.
Bob Apodaca.
No, he wasn't even a name.
If you heard the rumors about Rusty.
He was an... Oh, really? Yeah.
What rumors about Rusty?
Yeah, I did hear that rumor.
Wait, was it a rumor that Staub was shortened from trombone?
Yeah. No, it was a relief pitcher.
All right, stop. I'm telling you to stop.
Well, no, as long as it doesn't go where it went last time.
Yeah,
this is fine. This is my mother's past. It's going back 30 years ago. 30 years! Find a relief pitcher from 30 years ago.
It's all right. I don't want the phone call.
That
was a scary phone call.
What?
You won't say his name?
I don't think it matters.
Why would it? It's just a date. It's not...
Yeah, I don't even know. He's doing. I'll tell you one thing that happened that was pretty funny.
Oh, God.
It was Ed Glynn. Just a relief pitcher.
Too bad it wasn't Fred Gwynn.
No, it wasn't Fred Gwynn. That would have been cool, though.
Your mom...
Mom's bringing home Herman Munster.
Your mom dated a Met hack.
Well...
He never really had a career. He was barely in baseball. Ugh.
Oh.
Ed Flynn's a well-liked player.
Ed Glynn. I just remember one evening before he was pitching the next day that perhaps they were doing something where Ed Glynn...
What are you getting into now?
I am not going any further with that.
Wow.
But it was, you know, very popular around that time. And, and completely blew the game. And don't make any jokes about what I just said. Don't do any plays on words or Sal call.
Wait, there's a couple of things you can do with a razor.
Well, not in the 70s. you weren't using it to shave with.
You're right.
Yeah, wow, hey.
How great is that?
What? Ah, it was great. You know, he'd come over and, you know, I'd be like, hey, look, it's a mitt.
Did you get to throw the ball around with him?
No.
He wasn't interested in your mom,
I caught a fleeting glimpse of this guy.
He wasn't
That's about it.
He wasn't interested in going all 9 innings.
That was about it.
He was a middle reliever.
My mommy, this is 30 years ago. She did a damn good job raising 3 kids. We all successful and out of trouble. And she did a fine job, and she wanted to live part of her life. And she did, and then she settled down, found Sal, settled down, find a nice gentleman. And, you know, they've been happily married for years now.
What about the Met? Whatever happened? Like, did he, like, after
I don't know.
Did he go on and leave baseball? You should find out what happened to him.
I don't know. She hooked up with Mr. Met after that. But that didn't last because he couldn't come in through the door. This big baseball head.
All right, listen.
That's my mommy.
That's wonderful. Why don't we take a break before Sal calls? I'm a little paranoid. That phone call from Sal, I'll never forget.
No, because it didn't go where it went, why Sal got mad.
Yeah.
That's all.
If Sal's listening, Greg Hughes, the actor that plays Opie on the Opie and Anthony show, I had nothing to do with the last 20 minutes.
Sal knows I love my mommy, and I love Sal.
All right.
They're both great people.
I could explain the ending of The Sopranos. I was